Okay, so today we're going to be learning about ratios. This is our new title, ratios. Now, introduction to a ratio. So a ratio compares two or more values. A ratio says how much of one thing there is compared to another thing. So here we've got four boxes. 3 of them are orange and 1 is purple. So we can say that there are 3 orange squares to 1 purple square. Okay, so we've got 3 orange squares, 1, 2, 3, to 1 purple square, in a total of 4 squares. We write this in maths as the following. So orange to purple using our colon. So there's 3 orange to 1 purple. We can also write it the other way, which also will give you the same information, just written differently. So we can also say that there is 1 purple square to 3 orange squares. So we just reverse it. We've got orange to purple using our colons. So there's 1 purple to 3 oranges. Now, having a look at this starter, I'm going to go through the first one for you. So we've got write the ratio of green squares to white squares. So you're going to be in green to white. So for the first one, we've got how many green squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 green squares to 1 white square. So that's how we'd write it. For the question 2, write the ratio of white squares to orange squares. It's the other way around, where you're going to have white number first and then your orange number of your squares. Okay. Question 3 and 4 are a little bit tricky, but give those a go. So pause this video and give these questions a go. So hopefully you've been able to answer those questions. So for question 1A, we've done it already. It was 5 to 1. B, it was 3 to 4. So 3 green squares to 4 white squares. C was 4 to 5. For 2A was 1 to 5. So 1 white square to 5 orange squares. B was 4 to 3. And C was 5 to 4. You'll notice it's very similar to the question 1, just reversed. Question 3, Tom mixes 5 tins of blue paint to 3 tins of red paint to make purple paint. What is the ratio of blue paint to red paint? So it's going from blue to red. I'll just abbreviate it, and it tells you that blue paint is 5 tins and red paint is 3 tins. So from blue to red, it's 5 to 3. Similarly, for question 4, Sally has 12 close friends. 7 of her friends are girls and 5 of her friends are boys. Write the ratio of boys to girls. So it wants boys first. So boys to girls. Okay, so how many boyfriends has she got? She's got 5 boys as friends and 7 as girls. So it'll be 5 to 7. So introduction to ratio when we're scaling up and down. So there is the ratio of 3 oranges and 1 purple. So going back to what we started with, so 3 to 1. Okay, we can scale up to make it 6 oranges and 2 purples. What we have to do is double it. But remember, whenever you double one side, so if we were doubling the oranges, we have to double the purple as well. So we're multiplying both sides by 2. So here's the ratio. Is also 3 to 1, even though there are more squares. Can you explain this? So the way we're going to explain this is if you're given a ratio of 6 to 2, okay, we can simplify this. It's almost like saying there's a fraction of 6 over 2 or 2 over 6, okay? We can simplify it because they can both be divided by the number 2. So 6 divided by 2 gives us 3, and then 2 divided by 2 gives us 1. Very similar to this one. 2 divided by 2 gives us 1. 6 divided by 3 gives us 3, okay? So we can divide both sides by 2, giving us 3 to 1. So that's how we explain this. So visual example, I would like you to copy this down as we go along. Ben the painter needs 6 litres of dark purple. He uses 4 litres of red paint and 2 litres of blue paint. So you can see he's got 4 tins, each a litre of red and 2 of blue. Write the ratio of the number of red tins to the number of blue tins in its simplest form. So if you're copying this out as we're going along, so at the first he's got red to blue. He's got 4 red tins, so 4 red litres to 2 blue litres, okay? And we can simplify this because both our numbers can be divided by 2. So to red, it's 2, and for blue, it's 1. So simplified, 4 red litres to 2 blue litres, we can divide both by 2, giving us a ratio of 2 to 1. So if you wanted to make it smaller, to make, for example, 3 litres of dark purple, you'd need a ratio of 2 to 1. Another example, if you copy this down as we go along, pause if you need to. So Sarah has a number of white and black counters in a bag. So you can see there are a variety of counters. Write the ratio of the number of black counters to the number of white counters in its simplest form. So we're going from black to white. So how many blacks have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 3 black counters to 9 white counters. So to simplest form, we can have a look. So both of these numbers can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 gives us a 1. And then 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. So our ratio of 3 to 9 in its simplest form is 1 to 3. Another example, if you copy this down as well. So we're simplifying 3 to 9 and 25 to 30. So the first one, 3 to 9. So very similar to that previous example we just did. So 3 to 9, we can divide both sides by 3, giving us 1. So 3 divided by 3 gives us 1. 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. And then we've got 25 to 30. So have a look at that number. Even though we have an odd and an even number, they end in a 5 and a 0. And hopefully that will help you to tell you that we can divide both sides by 5 because they're in the 5 times table. So 25 divided by 5 gives us 5. And then 30 divided by 5 gives us 6. So 25 to 30 simplified to its simplest form is 5 to 6. Now I'd like to pause this video and have a go at these questions by simplifying them. So seeing what number goes into both, and then writing out your answers. Remember to write the questions as you are going along. Okay, so hopefully you've been able to answer these questions. Let's go through these answers. So question 1A was simplified to 1 to 2, B 5 to 2, C 2 to 7, D 1 to 3, E 5 to 2, F, missed F. We'll go on to question 3. Adam has 8 friends who are boys and 2 friends who are girls. Write this ratio of boys to girls in its simplest form. So it will be, we'll start off with 8 to 2, and then we can divide both sides by 2, giving us 4 to 1. Question 4, 125 men and 150 women are at a wedding. Right, this is a ratio of men to women in its simplest form. Oh, it's going back to these ones. So question F is 2 to 5. Question G, 2 to 3. Question H, 1 to 4. Question I, 3 to 4. And question J, you're having to find something that goes into all 3. So what this is finding your highest common factor that goes into all of them. So into all of these, the number 7 goes into it. So you end up with a ratio of 5 to 8 to 7. So go back to question 4, was 5 to 6. So you'd start off with a ratio of 125 to 150 and then simplify it down. And then for question 5, the painter mixes 65 litres of red and 15 litres of blue paint to get purple. Write his ratio of red to blue in its simplest form. So you'd first start off with 65 to 15 and then find your highest common factor, divide it, and you would end up with an answer of 13 to 3. So both sides can be divided by 5. Okay, another example, if you copy this as we're going along. So find the missing numbers. So we've got 12 to 7, and then we've got 36 to what? So how do we get from 12 to 36? Well, we multiply it by 3. So 7 times by 3 will give us an answer of 21. Question example 5, the ratio of men to women in a sports club is 7 to 11. There are 175 men. How many of these are women? So if we know that men to women is 7 to 11, and we're needing to get to 175, we have to find 7 times by what gives me 175. So the way we can do this on our calculators, we do 175 divided by 7, and we should hopefully end up with an answer of 25. Then we know that 7 times 25 gives me 7 times by 25 will give me 175. So now what I need to do is 11 times by 25, which gives me an answer of 275. So there are 275 in the club in total. So a worked example, if you copy this as we're going along, the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 3 to 1. There are 15 boys in the class. How many are girls? So boys to girls is 3 to 2. So if there's 15 boys, how do we get from 3 to 15? We multiply by 5, so therefore we have to do the same thing to the other side. We also multiply it by 5, which gives us an answer of 10. So there are 10 girls in the class to 15 boys. Now pause this video and have a go at these questions. Okay, so the answer to the following is 9 to 6, 56 to 96, 60 to 44, 78 to 84, 27 to 45 to 63. Question 2 was 40 women. Question 3, 64 teachers. Question 4, 100 grams of sugar. And question 5, Lucy has 72 pounds and Alex is 120 pounds. That was a bit of a tricky question.